All right, welcome to Money Never Sleeps. This is a show where we talk about anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And I've been speaking about cryptos, been speaking about SPACs, and surprise, surprise, I'm going to be speaking about SPACs again. You're talking about a $700 billion market and growing. It's not slowing down, it's actually speeding up. You have the likes of Reid Hoffman, you have Cliff Hudson, you have other prominent people that are in the game. And, they're calling it a bubble, okay, but I don't know if I see it as a bubble. I think what's happening is that you have a lot of companies that have the desire to go public. They may have held off doing an IPO because of the financial constraints, because it costs money, a lot of money. You need to have the backing, you need investment banks, you need all this stuff. So you're expending all this money before you even get over the finish line. Okay. And everyone's getting paid as you go along. And the company is giving up a nice chunk of his company for that privilege. The bottom line is a SPAC is an easy path, well, easier path to going public. There's time to do your due diligence as far as the sponsor is concerned to make sure it's the right deal for them. And then on top of that, you're talking about the cash reserves there for the company to continue to be a driving force. Do I see it as a bubble? I really don't. I just think that things are adjusting. What has been done for the past 50, 60, whatever amount of years, 100 years is not prevalent today because the IPO market, granted you have the traditional go do your filings, do all this stuff, you do an IPO, have all the hoopla, all that stuff. And the bottom line is, okay, you don't have the freedom to do what you can do when you have a SPAC. You can't give forward guidance. There's a lot of things you cannot do. You cannot do. And what the SPAC market is doing is opening things up. So you do have companies out there that have a desire to go public, uh, you know, where typically they would do an IPO, but now reverse merging into a SPAC is a great alternative and gets them where they want to get to. And and also on top of that, you wind up having, if you get the right deal, you wind up having good partners there that you can continue to work with. Okay, you have, Walmart's, India division, subsidiary, whatever they're calling it, Flipkart. That's looking at a SPAC. What did you have? You have Hippo, the insurance, the home insurance company, with Reid Hoffman just rolled into a SPAC today. He had another one last week. What else you have? I have it here on the screen. You have Beacon Street Group. They just did a deal. You have Spire that did a deal. You have View that did a deal. And you're gonna have more and more of these deals. You have a lot of again, a lot of prominent names in the game. Some of these deals, you had the likes of BlackRock Capital, Cantor Fitzgerald. Okay, you have you have some people. Do you have the people that are involved, that the sponsors and those that are getting involved in the pipe? They're all lined up, ready to go. Those that are involved in the pipe, they stand to make a lot of money. Keep in mind these SPACs when they go public, I think they're at about $10, and you can't price it any more than that because it's just cash there. There's nothing going on until you make an acquisition. But what's happening is that investors are looking at these SPACs and they're saying, something, maybe they're going to have a great acquisition. Let's get in there now. We'll get it cheap. Okay, and is that a wrong play? Well, you don't know what they're going to get involved with, so I can't say it's right or wrong. You're taking a risk. You don't know what they're going to do. You may strike gold, you may not. At the end of the day, you have so many SPACs out there that are coming public. Okay, I think to the tune of this year alone, from January till now, it's March 4th, right? 4th or 5th. It's the 4th. Okay, so the bottom line is, in that short period of time, I think you had about 175 SPACs that came about, and these SPACs, they have 24 months to make a deal. So what you're going to see a lot more deals happening. You're going to see a lot more things happening. Okay, and it's going to be very interesting. You're going to have a lot of competition in a lot of areas. And now, when you have innovative companies that have access to capital, watch out. You're talking about super uber duper growth that has the potential of happening with these companies if you have the right visionary at the helm. And some of these companies you do, some you don't. But the SPACs that are out there, and the one thing I can say to any SPAC sponsor, these guys, they've been there, done that. Okay, if you look at Hudson, he's been there, and what would I think with Duncan and Sonic, and now they're doing it again, and I think that's what the name of this back is, do it again. Okay, and the bottom line is with that, you have the right people at the helm. They'll pick the right deals to make it happen. Now, the problem, this is the problem, is that you have companies that are out there that have the ability for this growth, but they're under the radar. I mean, it's not like you can go and look online and see and look at the ticker symbol and see all this stuff. These SPAC sponsors, they have to go and seek them out. And these companies may not even be looking at an IPO or going public, but they have the growth potential to do that. So you'll have SPACs going out and reaching out to these companies and giving them that opportunity. And I think that if a company gets that opportunity and they have the right partners there, and the deal's right for them, it could be a win-win, because you'll have access to the capital that's there to build the business. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Okay. If you have the right growth and the especially in technology, but it's not just tech, but I mean, I love tech. So, you have different industries that are growing. Okay. And I think that technology is just an area that's going to continue to grow year on year, and because this is the future, and everything's happening. Like even now, I get asked, and I've been getting asked a lot lately because a lot of progress has been happening. When I'm doing my show, what platform am I using? Okay, I don't use any other platform but Vero Hive to do all my shows. I don't care if it's Money Never Sleeps. I don't care if it's my motivational show where I bring on a lot of celebrities and a lot of inspirational and motivational people. I do everything on Vero Hive because it has all the tools that I need. And you're talking about innovation. You're talking about being disruptive. This is part of a company that is disruptive, and that's I just love the work that is being done. The team, everyone that has you know put their blood, sweat, and tears into the projects with the company. Okay, and I believe that companies like this, and again, I may be biased, but companies like this, these are the ones that are going to be changing the future, because it's all about changing the future, being disruptive. It's not about going and lining your pockets. It's not about going and trying to be the next Facebook, trying to be the next anything. Okay, it's about being what you can be, and change things for the better as much as you can. Okay, at whatever area that you focus on, and it doesn't matter the company you're looking to have an impact. Okay, and if you do that, and if you look at, and this is what I hope that happens with the companies that are rolling at the SPACs, that they go and they utilize the capital to to create wealth within the company, create growth, create sustainable jobs, help build communities and things of that nature. Because when you have a company like that, you have access to all that capital, you're hiring people, you're impacting those people, their families, the community, the everything that's around there, the municipality. The bottom line is there's a lot of good that's going to come out of this. Okay, just have to, as far as investors go, You just have to bank on the right horse, and there's a lot of opportunity because the SPAC market is not going to slow down. It's going to continue to roll because IPOs have slowed down, and they have slowed down over the years because of the excess regulation, beyond that, the excess fees, the excess everything. Okay, it's like they make it so difficult to go public that why do you want to even bother with it? And this is why some companies stay private because they don't want to deal with it. SPACs are changing that game. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. But I think that we're going to have this year, next year. And SPACs have been around a long time, people. Don't think that this is something just that happened during the pandemic. They've been around a long time. And now it's just in the spotlight. Spotlight's on them. And you're going to have a lot more companies doing a lot more things and basically going and having a lot of growth potential. And again, that's about it for my SPAC speech, or and as far as cryptos are concerned, and I can't say this enough, and I do say it often. If you are involved in the crypto market, please look for the utility. If the crypto doesn't have a utility, then what is it for? That's like me giving you a fork, but you have no food in front of you. What are you going to do with it? You're going to look at the fork. You're going to spin it around. You're going to eat air. No, there has to be a utility there. If you have a utility, then you can have is something there. If there's no utility, then really there's nothing there. The only ones, like even Ethereum, there's a utility because they're creating other things, right? There's something going on there. Bitcoin, that's something that I'm telling you, smart people will go and they'll create some sort of utility for it, but it trades like a hypersensitive stock, okay? And that's where it gets a little dangerous because you buy it, you're not going to go use it to go purchase something because it takes long for it to clear, to transfer from one person to another, and because it's peer to peer. But if you do it if you have a somewhere where you're holding a wallet, stuff like that, you have to make sure that's secure too, because you can lose your stuff. We've seen it plenty of times. If you have a custodian, that is kind of iffy. You got to be careful about that. But at the end of the day, I have to say, maybe 90% of the people, maybe more, look at Bitcoin as an investment. And you can argue the point till you're blue in the face. The bottom line is that's the way it is at this moment. Will there be a utility later? I believe that you're going to have some smart people that are going to create some sort of utility, but it's not going to be the utility that you think. If you think it's going to be Bitcoin direct, I have my reservations about that, just because of what it is and what needs to happen. And I'm not going to go into that. You have people that are working on that, I'm pretty sure. All right. Anyway, that's about it for this edition of Money Never Sleeps. Thanks for listening, tuning in, and just supporting my little rants that I do on the show. Again, I don't do this for viewers. I don't do this for listeners. I do this because I feel you have to share knowledge. You have knowledge, you have to share it. This is why I always support people that share their knowledge on TV, whether it be CNBC, Fox, this and that, whatever it is. You're sharing knowledge with the people so that they can learn something more. You're doing a service to society. That's my view on it. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. You guys enjoy. Have a great rest of the trading week, and I'll be back with you for the next episode of Money Never Sleeps.